Me for the lack of videos last week. I was sick and my eye was all red and I didn't want to disgust you guys with any of that stuff. Being said, the more I make these videos, the more I kind of see this as a diary for my kids to watch in my younger years, you know, because I feel like with this technology we should be using it for our advantage to share different experiences. As I'm helping you guys, hopefully this channel will be able to help my children to see the growth and development of how dad became dad. And now we're going on to the rest of the video, which is about stability. And for my future kids and the people watching this, sit down, let's get comfortable, and let me explain to you the importance of stability. So for context, for you guys, you already know if you're subscribed, and if you don't know, this is new information to you, but I never had a good masculine role model in my life. I had some who had good traits, but I never had one where I sat there and thought to myself, this is how a man should be, you know? So it kind of left me in this spot where I was trying to figure things out myself. And I guess what I really placed the importance on to be the man that I want to be is freedom. I wanted to be the man that stood for freedom and the ability to do whatever you want. And I didn't believe in the system or the government telling me how and where to move with my life and things of that nature, because I always felt that they were oppressing forces. I was a bit of a rebel in my younger years, and I still am, but for God. So when it came to that kind of attitude, everyone would say that that's what I represented, you know. But as I got deeper into my 20s, for context, I am 23, going to be 24 on the 20th of November. I always had this mindset of being the provider of the household, because I have always been the man of the house for as long as I can remember, you know. My dad was in and out, so he wasn't really the man of the house, and it became more apparent as I went to university, when I started to make a bit more money from my basic retail job. But when you have no bills or responsibilities, you have all that money to yourself and you think you're rich. So what I did with that money was I gave it to my mom, my siblings, because they're younger than me, and my mom, it was my mom, so you give them your money and every penny you got. And you know, I was sat there like, yeah, this is cool, I'm getting that money, but what I really want to do is YouTube. I want to be big on YouTube so I can give them all the things that they need and things of that nature, you know. And I was in this mindset where it's like, okay, YouTube is gonna work, and I was in the mindset that, okay, when YouTube works, that's when I'll break through. And the mindset with me wanting to do YouTube isn't a bad idea, you know. It's just I didn't know exactly what would be sustainable, what kind of content I wanted to do. Additionally, I didn't have that rush in my head. Do you get what I mean? I didn't have that rush to want to, you know, do the YouTube as soon as possible. It's kind of just there as it's growing in its own time, and you know, I will upload this day and I'll be inconsistent that day and whatever it is. Until I met the love of my life, which, you know, I became more focused, but I would say that I still wasted a lot of time. Nowhere in comparison to who I am now. If you speak to me at the start of the year and compare it to who I am now, it's night and day difference. But a lot of things came into my mind in the month of August when me and her split apart. And essentially, when I was looking over the course of my life and, you know, the mistakes of past generations, like my father being outside of the household, I often looked at his mistakes, not in a judgy way, you know, because everyone has their own flaws. And as bad as he is, I don't believe to look at someone that's bad and sit there and think to yourself, oh yeah, I can't be like this person, because you start to lose sight of your own issues. So you're focused on that person and you start to think that you're not as bad as them, so you don't even focus on who you are. In reality, you have bad stuff as well you gotta sort out. But as I started to look at myself and the mistakes of my father, I realized that my father never had that kind of stability that the family needed. We went through financial hardships, and for the most part, I can remember my mom struggling a lot and him being very laissez-faire about things. And I started to realize that I was getting that laissez-faire attitude as well. Yes, I have a job and I work in retail and things of that nature. However, the urgency to get more funds was not in the right direction. Like, I wanted more money, but I wasn't going right about it. I was thinking of only YouTube, and then that would be the beginning bits or whatever it is. But the truth about YouTube is I don't know when it's going to blow up. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm trying the best I can, and I know it will grow fast in Jesus' name, but it's not stable enough. And that's why I looked at myself and I looked at my father. I want more stability for me and my family. I want more stability for me and my future wife, the one I'm with right now. And I want stability for my children. I guess the reason why I'm emphasizing about stability is because I often think of the Bible where God says, build your house on the rock and not on the sand. And there's always this emphasis that the rock is stable, the rock is reliable, but the sand isn't. Sand can get mucky if water touches it. Sand can slide down and do all kinds of stuff. Essentially, sand will crumble the infrastructure that you build on top of it. So what does it mean to be the house that is built on the rock? Well, a lot of people are like, oh, that's where your foundation of Christ should be. And yeah, that's true. But however, it also counts towards you as a person. You want to be that person that's built on the rock. I know all of us have dreams. I know all of us have things that we want to do. But we also got to sit there and realize to ourselves, okay, well, as I'm working towards these goals, what am I physically doing as of right now to have the finances or to build a future and things of that nature? Because the last thing I'd want my kids to experience is to make loads of money from YouTube and then just dries up, and then me loads of money again and then dries up. No, what I would want is a stable income first, and then I would get YouTube and addition on property and all kinds of things I want to add to it, you know? So it's good to have that stable foundation. That stable foundation should be to get a job. The advice I would give to my younger self is, it's never too early to start thinking about your career. I was too busy thinking of freedom and things of that nature. I'm not in regret, but what I really noticed about the job market is that they care a lot about experience. They care a lot about experience. So my advice to you guys, wherever you can get experience, whether you're working as an intern or working for free, do it. Do it, because then you can get your foot in the industry that you want, the industry that will pay you a lot. And additionally, as you have more experience, your value starts to go up. And who's going to say no to a person who has tremendous amounts of value? What I notice about building stability is that you got to have experience. You've got to have a foundation of skill sets that people can look at and be like, okay, they may be starting off, but they got these amount of skills, so let's put them up. But if you're trying to build a foundation with no skills and no experience, then there is no foundation. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that was the big problem with me. Whilst I did understand the concept of having a job and grind at the same time, I never placed enough importance on gaining that experience and building the foundation of my career before actually applying for the jobs that I wanted to apply for. Essentially, I got a lot of rejections. So that was a bit tough, you know. So I tell my younger siblings, get that experience, build that foundation. I'm telling you guys and my future kids who are going to watch this, but we got to make sure that the foundation is put in place. And if you don't know how to get it yourself, research. The internet is so broad. Go on career sites, go on websites, go check where it could be. Ask someone that's near you, ask around, or call companies, anything. Just build a foundation of skill sets that makes you valuable in your career so you can get promoted upwards and upwards and upwards. A lot of these places are not going to hire you or even look your direction if you don't have a foundation of experience. Have that experience to build a stable career and make sure you have that skill set and stay in that skill set, because it's all fun and games when you're single. You can afford to be unstable, but one day you're going to have kids. Maybe your mom might go through something, or your siblings. Are you going to be there to give the finances when they need it? That's the main question. Will you have the resources to help them, or you just have to sit there and watch? Will your children have to understand that 1 minute we're good and 1 minute it's not good? Will your wife be going through that turmoil? That's not what we want, people. We want stability. If God is stability, then we should model ourselves as stability. Remember, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Naturally speaking, we as people must be yesterday, today, and forever in our movements and our actions. And we can only do that if we rely on God to help us stay consistent in our character and be stable in every area of our life. Stability is important, and freedom is great. Don't get it twisted. But make sure you have stable freedom, not unorthodox freedom. Just something that I learned for myself. Hope it helped you guys. With that being said, God bless, take care, and I'll see you guys next video.